What is going on, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comic, back with another top 10 new release books coming out this time on July 3rd. Don't go anywhere. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Don't forget to check out the homies over at Big Time Collectibles for exclusives, all kinds of con books. Place your FOC orders. Follow them on social media. Don't miss out on a thing. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, my boy Justin has got you covered. Also, you can find him on social media. The links are in the description, as well as the links to ABX Comics and Games, my local comic shop, and the community's local comic shop. If you don't have a shop near you, you can find them in the description and reach out to them, and they can be your subscription shop today, as they are the subscription shop for numerous members of the YouTube community here. Great shop. So here we go. This is my top 10 list for July 3rd's new comic book day, and this is a ridiculously solid list. We're back to having a very well-rounded week for me, not just DC or indie-centric. It's got a little bit of everything on here, and we're kicking it off with none other than the big guy. Superman is back with the Superman Superstar story arc. It was kind of put on hold while we did the House of Brainiac, and it's not necessarily a story arc as much as it is an time era for Superman, where he went from Philip Kennedy Johnson's run now to this Superman Superstars run, where it's a new format to the title, where we're pretty much given 3-issue story arcs and an all-star creative team brought in to tell that story. This time, legendary writer Gail Simone is coming back to DC and to the big guy himself, and going to tell us a tale of Superman in his earliest days, hence the symbol, where an alien race is using Earth as its battlegrounds, and it's up to Superman to not only stop them, but keep everybody safe around the world as it all goes down. Also, in the backup story, we're going to be getting Lois and Clark. So we'll see what goes on with Lois Lane a little bit. I'm not sure if Action is going to start dipping its toes into the absolute power thing. We're really just going to have to see. From the style of this and knowing it's 3 issues, that's 3 months, they're kind of removing Action from the event, telling us a story in the past, which I'm perfectly okay with. With numerous Superman titles, numerous Batman titles, you kind of have to focus on which one you want to be your main narrative. Kind of like how Detective Comics is always an ongoing monthly title, and sometimes more than once a month, but it doesn't typically dive into the main continuity. It's always events that is happening between the panels of the other book or between issues, and they'll call out to them every so often or every now and then. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see what Gail Simone does. I think it's going to be a really good time. Next up, issue number 10 of Transformers is coming out this week. The Energon universe is thriving right now, having gotten the Duke series, the Cobra Commander series. Destro started out great. Scarlet's decent enough. And now we have Void Rivals finally revealing the secrets of that title. That title has been the linchpin, the backbone, the catalyst of all things Energon universe, and it's been teasing and showing little stuff along the way about Transformers, but that last issue really opened up the doors to Transformers being the new backbone of all things Energon universe. So I'm excited for this issue, as Shockwave, who's the current leader of the Decepticons, is going to reveal his ultimate plan, and we're going to see if the Autobots are able to patch themselves back together, rebuild themselves in time to shut down, stop, or survive what Shockwave has in store for them. Featured right here is the Big Time Collectibles exclusive John Jang variant for this issue, featuring Devastator, who's been a major villain in this arc, is fantastic, and Jang's work really just lends to the style of Transformers. Be sure to check this out in the links below for Big Time Collectibles. He's done a handful of Transformers covers now for this run, and they are all fantastic. Next up, we're going straight into Absolute Power with this week's tie-in from Green Lantern issue number 13. If you're following along with Jeremy Adams' title, you know that Hal has found a way to leave Earth that was previously quarantined. We found out why it was quarantined. We've revealed that the United Planets is being ran by a psycho dictator hell-bent on shutting down all the Lanterns across the entire emotional spectrum. But Hal barely got away with his life. The rest of the Lanterns weren't as lucky as Hal to escape. They're all in prison now, and Theros, the leader of the United Planets, has reached out to Earth, to its presumed leader, Amanda Waller, to warn her that Hal is on the way and he wants him taken out. And she agreed to the deal. It seems like they had a secret pact along the way where Theros does not bother Earth, keeps it quarantined, and Waller does not bother or get in the way of what he's doing with the cosmos. They have revealed that there is a hidden power battery on Earth, so Hal is trying to get back home and get charged up before the team that Waller sends after him is able to shut him down. We will definitely see how it goes. I'm excited for this. This title has been fantastic. just as equally as excited. Geiger issue number 4 from Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, Brad Anderson on colors, and Rob Lee on the letters. This series, that last issue, chef's kiss, was absolutely amazing. We followed Tariq Geiger and his hellhound with 2 heads, Barney, since the earliest days of Ghost Machine. We got a little glimpse into Barney's past in that last issue, and it really hit it on the emotional beat. In this volume, we've been seeing that Geiger is moving across the scorched earth, looking for a potential cure to his ailment. And along the way, he's been being tracked by a mysterious character called the Electrician, who I can only assume is going to be somehow tied to the whole, I don't know, the whole immortal thing that's going on with Redcoat. I think it's Benjamin Franklin. It looks like him. It's electrical powers, but he has apparently gotten a hold of Barney, and the only thing standing in the way of Geiger getting his hellhound back is the largest horde of organ harvesters we've seen to date. So Geiger's going to be on a one-man mission to destroy this entire army of post-apocalyptic psychopaths to get his best bud back. I'm excited to see how it plays out. They better not kill Barney. Also featured in the last issue, we saw the return of everyone's favorite robot and Junkyard Joe. Is he going to make it here to help out? Is he going to get brought in here sooner or later? They're going to keep teasing him, and we're just going to have to keep waiting for him. Fan favorite Junkyard Joe is, and we're all ready to see him get back into the pages of Ghost Machine. Next up, one that I'm not excited about, but it's definitely going to make the list because it is a Marvel title I'm picking up. Incredible Hulk Blood Hunt number 1. So where with the DC stuff, I get pretty excited when the event stuff kind of taps into the main run most of the time. It kind of serves as a story. It's fun. It gives you a little insight into what's going on. I'm not collecting Blood Hunt. I picked up number 1, couldn't care less. Just came out of nowhere. Let's just do a vampire event, and let's make too many installments into the event. It's like 56, 58 books to read the event. It's excessive. It's insane. But even though it's going to be a tie into the event, I'm still keeping the Hulk run complete. I'm going to pick this up, and the story does sound fun. They do have Philip Kennedy Johnson still writing it. I'm not sure who the guest artist is going to be. We know it's not Nick Klein. He's never around to work on the book. But in this story, we have Hulk still on the hunt to try to rescue his little partner, and he goes into this old Western town and gets told a story in Old Tuscan about the old town, and he's pretty much going to have to fight whatever lies beneath the town. I'm assuming vampires. So it's probably going to be a vampire den under this town that probably killed everybody in the town, and Hulk's going to go bust it up. So it should be fun. All the same, it's just a nice little one-shot from Hulk. Next up, kicking it back over to DC, we have the second installment of the new Elseworlds imprint, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. It's fantastic to have the Elseworlds imprint back, and it's just right to start with Gotham by Gaslight. And in this, we're kind of getting our further exploring the Gaslight universe here, the Gaslight world, if you will. And in here, they're introducing the concept of ancient lost civilizations, just like you hear a lot of in the real world, trying to solve the mysteries of our past way before history, and all this evidence and all this stuff and all these little clues and all these things that just underwrite everything we thought we knew. That's what they're experiencing in this title. But this ancient lost history is none other than the Kryptonian Age. They have relics, they have all kinds of stuff that's really lending to the fact that there was more to their history than meets the eye, and it had to do with the Kryptonian. So you have Batman battling with the League of Shadows, trying to get a hold of some of these relics, as well as Adam Strange investigating some stuff. So I'm excited to dive into this. I love the premise. It's fantastic. The book was really just transported you to the 1800s with the way that everyone spoke and the dynamics of society, and the artwork was ridiculously good. The city was a character in itself, and every panel was worth spending time on. So I'm excited to keep going with this one and see where it takes us. Next up, another one I'm really excited about. I started off a little on the fence, getting this whole story with giving the Hood the spirit of vengeance, but now that we're into it, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. Benjamin Percy is still writing it. In this issue, we're going to see Johnny Blaze, or Blaze, show up to finally face off against the Hood, who has the spirit of vengeance. Johnny is trying to get it back, as it just isn't going to work out, and he knows it, and the Hood is using it to take over the entire criminal empire of Chicago very violently. I don't suspect Johnny's going to be successful his first outing, as he has limited ability, much like he did in the 90s when Danny Ketch was the writer, but I'm definitely going to be along for the ride all the way through this run. It's fantastic. Next up, another fantastic one from Marvel. Garth Ennis has returned to the Marvel Max imprint with Get Fury, a title that takes place back in Vietnam, where Nick Fury is a prisoner of war, and Frank Castle has been activated to go shut him down before any of America's secrets can be taken out of him. Frank's catching up, but Nick Fury is in a very heavily fortified, very famous POW camp, and Frank's going to have to go full tilt boogie to get him out. This book is very violent, Very shocking. Definitely not for kids. I heavily recommend it if you're an adult, if you're a fan of Garth Ennis at all. It's definitely Garth Ennis. It's very Garth Ennis. Next up, going back to Absolute Power for our second installment for the week with Task Force 7. This is a 7-part miniseries. It'll be coming out twice a month, featuring the events of Absolute Power from the eyes of the Trinity of Evil. Our big villains is Amanda Waller, Failsafe, and Queen Brainiac. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they're trying to do and what they're doing outside of the pages of the main body of the event. This one's called Last Sun Rising. It kind of reminds me of the speed metal or death metal or just metal, where we kind of focus on different villains as we have an entire army, a small army of very specific villains that are going to be featured in this event. Amanda Waller's created a Mazo Justice League of her own, and featured in Task Force 7 issue 1 is the Last Sun, which is her Superman powered Amazo. He's tasked with going out, taking out the most powerful heroes on Earth outside of the immediate Justice League team, which would be the Captain Marvel family. So we'll see if they can stand up for the task or if they're going to get shut down by the Last Sun. I definitely suspect the Last Sun's going to best them, especially this early on in the event. And then lastly, this week, we have the penultimate issue of Exo Manowar Invictus from Valiant Comics. As the Resurgence event is kicking off, Exo has been doing his own solo thing in space. It's kind of following up on the, what was it called? That Unconquered, which was the last arc that Liam Sharp did, 6-issue miniseries. So we're getting a 4-issue follow-up with Invictus, kind of wrapping that up. I'm assuming just for the sake of getting Exo brought back to Earth, revealed that he's not dead to everybody, and participate in the Valiant Universe event. But needless to say, he's made it to the home planet of the Roman Novanus, however you say it. And he's been stuck in a gladiatorial arena with his armor still not speaking to him. Will Eric be up to the task to shut him down on his own? Absolutely. And when that armor fires up, they all better run for the hills. But I'm definitely enjoying this. It's the same creative team on the last arc, minus Liam Sharp. We have a brand new artist for this one. It's just solid. If you enjoy Exo at all, these past 2 miniseries have just been ridiculously good. And they're getting me more and more excited and curious about dipping my toes into the Resurgence event, the Valiants. It seems like there's big things happening with that. I've kind of steered clear of it for the most part. I've kind of peeked in on it, but I'm just trying to stick to Exo. But now that it kind of looks like format wise, they're going to be bringing Exo over there, I might have to go check out the main event story and to see how it plays out. But that's going to be it for the top 10 for this week in no specific order. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your top 10 are, or your top anything. And let me know which ones on this list you were excited about. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that join button. I appreciate everybody watching the video. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.